To know that we get to share this with other people is one of our favorite things to do. So welcome, hello. And what we'll do first is we're just going to do some introductions, because I think I assume a lot of people know who we are, but I know that's not the case. There's some people here who are, and I'm going to just make sure that when you pop in, you are muting yourself. There we go. Okay, lovely. Okay, so first off, I will get Virginia to introduce herself. She's the first on my screen.
Hey, oh my gosh, this is awesome. We're almost at 50 people on here, and it is 8 o'clock, so we're starting right on time. Okay, so I will dive in. Is everyone muted? Or was that you, Kyrstin? I think we're good. Okay, so you guys, I have been a coach for 4 years now, which actually blows my mind, because I feel like I signed up last year. Time just goes by so fast. So I'll take you guys back to where I was when I started and got into this whole coaching thing. So I was in my second year of pharmacy school, and previously I had played college volleyball, played sports growing up, loved being a part of a team, loved that atmosphere, loved all of it. And so once I got into pharmacy school, I stopped playing sports. And so after a year of pharmacy school, it was about November of my second year, and I had gained 15 pounds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're trying to put your pants on and they literally won't do up, it's a pretty shitty feeling. And I've always just kind of been in shape because I was in sports and I never even had to worry about anything like that. So I just felt really self-conscious, and I was at the point where I literally needed to go buy new dress pants for school because we had to dress up every day, and dress pants are not forgiving at all. And I remember being in my room, not being able to put my pants on because they were too tight, and I was just like, what happened? I played sports, I was always in shape. What's going on? And I knew it was because I was studying, I wasn't eating good, I was still going to the gym sometimes, but I just didn't have it together. I just didn't know exactly how to get in shape or hold myself accountable because I was always used to being on a team. So it was kind of a coincidence. Around that time, I happened to be on Facebook. I got this random friend request. I was like, who's this girl? I mean, we had a mutual friend, but I was like, this is weird, because I was hardly on social media back then. And I was like, I'll accept this, kind of skeptical. And I fell in love with her page. It was something, perfect timing. I don't know what happened, but it was just meant to be. I truly believe that. And I happened to see she posted a before and after picture, and I was like, I look like the before, I want to look like the after. So I don't care what she's doing, I need to do this. I need to try something, right? Whatever I was doing was not working. So I messaged her, she sent me the info, and I was like, this is overwhelming. She said, we're going to do 90 days. I was like, I don't even think I can commit to a week. I was like, no. I said no the first time, actually. So the time passed a couple weeks, and I was still feeling crappy. I was still not getting results. I was still eating poorly and still felt like crap. And I happened to see her post again, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. What's the worst that could happen? I'm going to try this out. I might get amazing results, or I might not, and at least I can say I tried it. So anyways, I dove in. I freaking fell in love with the challenge groups, you guys. It was like, oh my gosh, to go back into that moment and feel everything I felt during those 3 weeks was incredible. I woke up every single morning excited about checking into this group, reading my coach's post, and a little assignment for the day to either post a sweaty selfie or post my healthy meals. And in 3 weeks, I lost 12 pounds. I was able to fit back into my pants, and I felt so freaking good, you guys. Honestly, I still can remember exactly how I felt after those 3 weeks. And after about a week, I was like, I want to share this with everyone. If this is working for me, I know that it'll work for other people. I always had friends, you know, asking me what I was doing for workouts. And I was like, I want to be a part of this forever. Like, I finally found something that worked for me. And that's, you know, where I started with coaching. I messaged my coach and I said, I want to do what you do. And I signed up right there, then and there. And like I said before, I was in pharmacy school, you guys, so I was busy. Like, I did not have time. So I committed to a workout program called T25, 25 minutes, 5 days a week. So I actually inspired a lot of people because we're all busy. And, you know, there is a workout program you can do from home, 25 minutes, focus on eating good, and you're going to get some awesome results. So that's where I started. And I really just shared my journey while I was in pharmacy school. I worked in pockets. I didn't have a lot of time. I was studying. I was doing assignments. Pharmacy school is not easy, you guys. I was working towards my doctorate. And so I just worked in pockets. Like, when I got tired of studying, I was like, oh my gosh, I need a break. I'd be excited to do coaching. Let me talk to some people. Let me see how they're doing. Let me check in and see if they're losing weight or feeling good or need help with anything. Let me put a post up on social media and let me get a workout in so I can, you know, take a break from studying. So it was perfect for me, actually, because I was super poor at that time. I actually had to put all of that on a credit card, and I was like, I really don't have this money, but I'm going to take a chance. And if not, oh well, I'm going to lose the $200 or whatever it was at the time. And I actually was about $35,000 in debt from being in pharmacy school. And I was only in my second year, the beginning. So by the end of pharmacy school, I would have been about over 100K in debt. So hear me out there. And I ended up graduating pharmacy school with under $3,000 worth of debt, which is like mind blowing. And sometimes I forget that happened because it all happened so fast. And I was just excited, and I truly just loved coaching. It wasn't like I signed up and was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a millionaire. It was more like, oh my gosh, I love this for me. I love that it holds me accountable, and making some side money while in school and being a college student. I was like, this is sweet. And I really led with my passion. And I truly believe that's why I was successful. I never focused on, you know, I'm going to sell to all these people. It was never in my mind like that. It was, I want them to feel how I felt after those first 3 weeks when I did my very first challenge. And so I was able to do it, you know, in these random pockets in pharmacy school. And it just made it work because I loved it. And I know that there's people who are super busy doing this, and they just find a way to make it work because they love doing it. And I've probably talked for too long now, but sometimes I get excited. So I'm going to pass the ball. That's kind of just a little bit about my story. I guess maybe I should say now I graduated pharmacy school, and I actually don't work as a pharmacist. I do this full time. I have my doctorate. I might go back and do it part-time just because I did go to school for 7 years. But we'll see.
So, yeah,
maybe once we have kids, I'll definitely do this full-time though, because I truly want to be at home and just be able to do this online, but we don't have any kids. So I really have like nothing to do. So I might go work at part-time just for something to do, really, but it's really freaking cool to have the option to go work or do this full-time at home, or, you know, have all these options. So I'm going to pass the ball on to Nicole, because that's who I see next, and she can share a little bit about her story.
Sure. Thank you. So my story is a little bit different. I am a mom of 3, and my journey with Beachbody started almost 3 years ago as a challenger. A friend of a friend had amazing results, and I told her I wanted to do whatever she was doing. So I joined a challenge group with absolutely no intentions of coaching. I am a physiotherapist, and I work part-time. I had, at the time of that challenge group, 17-month-old twins. They're now 4. And Lucas was turning 4. And so my goal really was just to get back to pre-pregnancy. And, you know, for me, I've been one of those lifelong battlers with weight. It's been up, down, before kids. I've tried every single diet out there. And so I always was looking for the latest and greatest. I do love to exercise. I've always loved to exercise. My problem has always been food. So I remember watching my coach post that, you know, she hated exercise and she'd lost like 40 pounds. So I thought, well, if she can do it, I'm willing to try. So I did the 21-day fix, which probably some of you have tried. And in my first round, I lost 14 pounds and I was just hooked. Still no intentions on coaching. I was intrigued by it all. I thought it was fabulous. I loved the groups. And so I just continued on. And, people started to notice what was happening. They were asking me left, right, and center, how are you losing this weight? What's going on? And so I happily referred them on to my coach. I was like, this is my coach, Rebecca. And I sent her about 7 or 8 friends of mine to join the challenge groups. And then one day, like I'd been humming and hawing about coaching as in a group just like this, getting information on what coaching was about. But I was very hesitant because, I have a medical degree where I'm working with highly professional people, lots of neurosurgeons, and I just felt like I'm going to really get criticized by these people. And I just couldn't imagine myself sharing my life on social media. I liked Facebook, but I would just share pictures of my kids here and there. And I didn't really know much about computers or any of it. And so I was very intimidated by the whole social media aspect. But one day, my husband and I were fighting over finances once again. And I saw a post from a coach, a Beachbody coach, that she was making some good money with Beachbody. And I thought, gosh, if I could just pay off our once a month cleaning lady and maybe cover my hair appointments, that would be amazing. And so I had kind of small goals, but I didn't have much time with the 3 kids and working. So I decided I'm going to give this a shot and I'm going to go all in. It's pretty risk-free, I felt, with my $50 sign-up fee. And I spoke to my husband about it and he said, well, just go for it. Just try it for a year and see what you think. And so here I am, 2.5 years later, still coaching, still loving it, and really happy to be part of this community. So on to Morgan.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay with these headphones in? Yeah? Okay. I'm joining you from Minneapolis, about 14 hours from where I actually live. And that's kind of another part that I love about this job is you can take this guy with you anywhere and do this job from anywhere. So again, as Virginia said, Nicole said, we all have really different stories, and you'll hear from Kyrstin too. It says her name's Morgan Rieger, but she's just logged into my account. Our stories are really different. So I've been coaching since the summer of 2013. And actually I had been doing Beachbody workouts, oh my gosh, probably 12 years before that, leading up until 2013. My older sister ordered Turbo Jam. If anybody's done Turbo Jam before. Yeah, a few of you. My older sister ordered that when I was in about grade 8. And I saw her doing it. I'm like, dang, that looks freaking fun. So when she was out of the house, I would actually sneak the DVDs and do them myself and invite my girlfriends over. And Shalene Johnson made me fall in love with fitness from, like I said, grade 8. So for the next 12 years, I did tons of Beachbody programs on and off, also went to the gym. It just kind of made me fall in love with fitness. Never knew a single person that was a coach, never knew it even existed. And it's kind of funny, I look back now because me and my girlfriend Christy always used to do the workouts together. And we were young and we'd always say oh, I wish I had the job of those girls in the DVDs. It looks so fun. I wonder what, I wonder what their jobs are. And it's crazy because I know every girl that was in those Turbo Jam videos, like Mindy Lawhorn and Janelle Summers now, and they're coaches, which is pretty cool how things just kind of pan out that way. So in 2013, I had graduated from university with a biology degree and a education degree. So I was going to be a biology and chemistry teacher. So I moved back home with my parents. I got a maternity leave position. So I was going to move back in with them and start full-time teaching. But I don't know, it was kind of a really weird time. I graduated and you're kind of supposed to feel excited. You're getting into the real world, the workforce, all that stuff. But for some reason, I didn't really feel that way. I kind of felt like, okay, is this it? Shoot, I just went to university for 5 years. Is this really what I want to do with my life? I don't know. And I just had a really, really uneasy feeling. But I was told by so many people, get used to it, Morgan. This is the real world. You might not like your job. You got to make money somehow. And all those things coming at me. So I thought, okay, you know, this is just how it's going to be. So school was starting in fall of 2013. I moved back home, and at the time, so I was going to full-time teach, and also Steven, who's over here, was starting to build a franchise from the ground up. His parents were in the franchise business, and he was going to start one. So building the building from the ground up at the same time. So I was going to help him with that as well. And I thought, okay, at the time I was a little bit of a gym rat. So I'm like, there's not going to be time to go to the gym with full-time teaching. If any teachers are on the call, it's kind of crazy, right? Full-time teaching plus helping build a franchise. Okay, this is the perfect time. Why don't I go online and order a new fitness program that'll help keep me accountable? So I went online to teambeachbody.com. Fitness program. I loved weights at the time. So I went on, I'm like, oh, cool. There's this new program called Body Beast. I'm going to order Body Beast. This is how I signed up to be a coach, you guys. Went online, purchased Body Beast, was just on the website, literally came across the tab that says, become a coach. I'm like, I wonder what coaching is. I always love fitness. So I always thought it'd be cool to have a job in fitness, like a personal trainer or owning a gym or gym teacher, but all those kind of had cons, like personal trainer, you're kind of a slave to other people's hours. Owning a gym, super expensive to start. Gym teacher, people told me I wouldn't get a job because there's too many of them. So none of that panned out, but I seen the coaching tab. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like I love Beachbody, I love fitness, and I kind of always wanted a job in fitness. What is this? Spent like 5 minutes reading about it. And I'm like, okay, it's like $40. I'll sign up. So I signed up to be a coach. After that, I also learned about Shakeology. So then I purchased Shakeology, which now don't sign up like that because you can actually I could have got Body Beast plus Shakeology in a challenge pack and sign up for a coach for free. So I paid the maximum amount you possibly can to sign up to be a coach. And it wasn't till after I was signed up that I actually learned what coaching was and how it all worked. I dove into research and training afterwards. All I knew was I had a passion for fitness and it would be pretty darn cool to make a job of it. So for those first 2 years, I taught full time. I opened up a franchise and we run it. We work there every day. Plus I coach. So three pretty intense jobs for the first 2 years. And now I no longer teach. So I'm pretty much a part-time coach, also running our franchise business every day too. So that is a little about me and my coaching journey. And I'll throw it over to Kyrstin.
Okay, so despite my name saying Morgan Rieger, I am Kyrstin Crow, and I have been coaching since April of 2014, and I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of, that person on social media that never posts anything but like judges everybody. So that was me, okay? I grew up with Morgan, good friends with her fiance, Steven, and I saw her posting her abs and how happy she was, and I was like, oh my gosh, like the nerve of her to post how happy she is. Oh, the nerve of her to have results and to be like healthy. Shame on her for sharing that. And I was like the biggest naysayer, okay? A few months went by. And then in the new year of 2014, she had messaged me and asked me if I would join her challenge group. And I was like, I'm not really sure. Like that's like something I'm interested in. And then she asked me again and I had a hot holiday coming up, or I was just getting home from Lent. And I was like, yep. Whatever you're going to do. She said, we have a 3-week program. Cause like Jen, I had seen her doing P90X3 and I'm like, there ain't a chance I'm committing to 90 days. I can't do 90 days. 21. Okay. I can maybe do 21. Sounds good. And it was really simple. I need simple, straightforward. I cannot be bothered with a complex, trainer gym. I've tried all that and it doesn't work. It's not for me, but like waking up, rolling out of bed, doing my workout, drinking my Shakeology, getting to work. That's for me. So I did it and I got really good results. I lost 11 pounds and 12 inches in my first 2 rounds. And after that, I had so many like coworkers and friends being like, oh my gosh, you got great results. Like, how did you do it? And I was the biggest fan. So I was like, oh, well, it's this new program. I have these DVDs. At the time, it was all DVD based. So I was like, yeah, I have these DVDs and I do these workouts at home and it's saving me buckets of cash from my trainer. I went to a trainer in the south end of the city here that was really, really good, but I was not getting results. So I was just over the moon. And so I was saying, yeah, you should go talk to my friend Morgan, And then Morgan one day was like, have you ever thought about maybe like you helping your friends? I'm like, no, I am like the least fit person. Like my friends would laugh. They would make fun of me if they knew that I was promoting health and wellness, like ain't a chance. And then I started seeing Morgan kind of reap not only the community benefits and really getting to meet all these people and traveling, but she was also financially being rewarded. And I was like, oh, that would actually be kind of nice to have a second stream of income. I'm a dental hygienist by trade. And if any of you are in the dental field, you know that your employer is going to pay you this much. You're not part of a union, so you're not going to get like mandated raises every year. It's basically if the practice has a good year and you got a good dentist that you work for, you'll get a raise. But if not, sorry, that's how it works. You get paid a certain amount. And I thought, man, wouldn't it be nice to actually have a job where I got to be creative and not just pick at people's teeth all day? Wouldn't that be something? And wouldn't it be kind of neat if I had the opportunity to surpass the income of, let's say, my partner, Alex, and that I could be maybe the breadwinner and I could provide for our family? I thought that was kind of a neat concept. So I thought, you know what? I'm going all in. I'm doing it. I'm going for it. I'm going to just dive in. And from that moment, it was like, okay, I'm going to immerse myself in as much training, calls. And when I say that there's no shortage of resources in this industry, there are no shortage of resources. Like you could literally pick a different topic, find a different video to watch or something to read every day and hone your skill. And that's what I committed to every day. Nothing crazy. I'm not the type of person to work overly, overextend myself, but I like to work really smart. So I'm going to do it every day, really consistently, and grow my business. And now I work casual as a dental hygienist by choice. I don't have kids. So kind of like Jen, it's like, I don't really have an excuse to stay home full time quite yet. But once we have kids, that's the plan, to be home with my kids and do coaching full time. And yeah, it's kind of a dream come true. Like the basement that I'm in right now was a bit of a rock slab this time last year, and then we paid it with cash from Beachbody money. So it goes from paying for my nails in a month. That was my goal at first, you guys. I wanted to get a manicure at a place that wasn't going to give me a nail infection. Like that's like setting the bar so low. I was like, I just want a clean manicure. And when I got it, I was like telling everybody. So many of my first few team members signed up because they were like, I want that too. So then from there, it just grew and grew. So it's kind of amazing to watch it grow. But that's enough about us. We want to answer your questions. Now, thank you guys all so much for sending us in some questions. And they're all really good ones. We have about 12, and Morgan posted what they are. And we are going to answer them for you. And we'll kind of just go round table and everyone can share and interject, and you'll be able to see that we've known each other for quite a while, and you'll probably get to vibe off of that. And we work together really closely. So let's start off with the first question here. Oh, Morgan posted it. What was your number one fear before becoming a coach, and why was it not true? Okay. Okay, well, I'll start. My number one fear was the fear of judgment from my peers and family. I was so scared that people would think I was a fraud or that I was unqualified, when in fact, the majority of people were super supportive and like, you go girl, like all the power to you. It was a bit of an irrational fear in my head because I always thought people would make fun of me, but it actually really highlighted some very supportive people in my life. And there might've been a couple people who made fun of me, but let's be real. Like that guy from grade 10 who you haven't spoken to in 8 years, like if he's going to make fun of you, like bye girl, bye. Like he has no place in your life anyway. So it's like, oh yes, thank you universe for reminding me of that.
That's so funny. I think I'd say my worst fear before when I signed up was, what if I'm not successful at this? What if I fail? Because I'm a perfectionist by trade. I want to be very good at whatever I do. And so I was nervous when I signed up because I really knew nothing, like I said. But the day I signed up, when I started the training, I was introduced to what's called personal development. So if you follow any coaches, you know, we do a lot of reading, listening to podcasts, really growing yourself. So I had never done any of that before. I hated reading, but I was introduced that the first day I signed up to be a coach, and I read my very first book. And from that exact point forward, I felt successful, because I was like, if all I get out of this is I'm growing as a person, which I saw in the first month how much better that even made our relationship, I was like, I don't care what else even happens in this business, because I'm already successful. So that kind of kiboshed my fear pretty quickly.
I'd have to say my fear was very similar to Kyrstin. I was scared to post on social media, and scared of what others would think of me, and scared that they would say, you know, you're not a personal trainer, you're not a nutritionist, who do you think you are to become a coach? And I learned right away that, you know, in a lot of trainings, they tell you, you are not a personal trainer, you are not a nutritionist. We never want you guys to claim to be that you are, because we're not. We're coaches. We're here to give them the tools that have the trainer on the TV, on the iPad, on your phone, and the nutritionist make the meal plans for us. That's not our job. That's not our role. So as soon as I learned that, and I was like, okay, cool. I just need to share my journey, and my job as a coach is to inspire people. And so once I started sharing that, of course I was nervous and scared of what people would think. But like Kyrstin said, it was actually super cool to see how many people were like, that's awesome. Like, what are you doing? I want to do whatever you're doing. You look awesome. You go, girl. Like, keep it up. And right after I started, you know, getting a little bit of positive feedback, I was like, oh, I'm all in. This is awesome. If I can help inspire somebody else to be better, then my job is fulfilled as a coach.
For me, one of my fears, different from the other girls, was as the constant yo-yo dieter, I'm like, how can I sustain these results? And like, how are people really going to believe in me as somebody who's swayed up and down with their weight their whole life? And that was really a genuine fear, because I'd lost 30 pounds and I just didn't know if this really was going to be the answer. I felt like it was enough to sign up, but I still had self-doubt. And something I've come to realize as a coach is, you know, as someone who has struggled, it just makes me more relatable. I'm certainly not perfect. I've had my bouts of like surgeries as a coach and getting back on track many times. And if anything, it makes me more authentic. So one of those biggest fears just got squashed by just doing it and living it and being true to who I really am.
Awesome. Okay, so the second question was, were you nervous to post on social media? Yeah. I feel like I'll just answer on the behalf of everyone. Yeah, totally. I don't know about you guys, but did you go through that thing after high school? Like, Facebook just came out when I graduated high school. It was really new. And so you add all these people, and then you go away to college and you like find yourself and you're super cool and you delete everybody. And then you go to start a business like 8 years later and you're like, oh snap, I don't have any friends on social media. So I was super nervous, because not only was I growing my network of, you know, old friends, new friends, strangers, like really growing my network with like-minded people. So I was nervous to just put myself out there. I had always been such a follower that taking on the role of a leader was kind of new to me. So I was really nervous at first, for sure.
I'll pipe in on this one as a mom, because something I was nervous about was just sharing about my family on social media. You know, I thought, gosh, like, do I really want to expose the world to like my family life, my children's life? They're not agreeing to this. They're small and innocent. And so, you know, I figured out a way to keep our life private. In a lot of respects, people on social media have no idea what's going on with their day-to-day. And I share a lot of things I want to share with people. So, you know, you might follow me and know my kids' names, but you certainly don't know like which school they go to, and, you know, a lot of our daily moments that are kept to us as a family. So there is a way to do this as a mom to keep it private. You can even have posts about your children set to be seen by only certain people. So that was a bit of a fear of mine that I've learned to manage.
Okay, so question number 3, how much time do you have to commit to coaching? So you see us posting on our stories, you see us on Snapchat or wherever we are, and you're thinking, I work full time. How on earth am I going to build a business? And I'll tell you right now, Jen was a full-time student. Morgan was working full-time. I was working full-time. And Nicole, not only was she working, but she has twins and another little guy. So she got 3 kids. So busy is kind of something we can relate to. But busy is also a mindset, right? Like I would watch like 5 hours of Netflix in a night and be like, girl, I'm busy. I ain't got time. And it's like, actually, it's just a matter of creating time, right? So I just work smarter. I told you I try not to work harder. I work smarter. And Jen already mentioned working in pockets of time. That's something I do too. It's like I'm going to hammer out really focused work right when I wake up. And then I'm going to go to the dental clinic and give it my all in the morning. And I'm going to not focus on coaching because I got to work with patients. I got to be on my A game. And then on my lunch break while I'm munching on my apple, I'll message my challengers. I'll message a few people. I'll do some work in between, maybe 20 minutes, not even. And then after work, I do some work while I'm laying on the floor, procrastinating my workout. I'll do a little bit of work then too, and read in the evening. So everybody does it a little differently. Some people have more time to devote than others. And on days that I don't work, I have a lot more time to devote to it, but you make it work. And I don't know about you guys, but I think if you had an hour to 2 hours, if that, like not even, throughout your day somewhere in 10, 20-minute pockets, you could build a wildly successful business.
I agree with that too. I personally think busy people do better at this business, honestly, because like Kyrstin said, there's no shortages of resources in this business, which is really what I love about it too. But you can kind of go down the rabbit hole. You watch a video, then another one comes up, then another one, then another one. And you don't want to stop like consuming this information because it's so good. And you'll find that you'll kind of start to waste your time with fluffy stuff that doesn't really grow your business, because you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't actually do anything with it, you're not going to grow a successful coaching business, right? So the best thing I learned when I first became a coach, and it's in our new coach training as well, is what we kind of call your power hour. So for me, I built my business in 1 hour a day for the first 2 years. And we have a list, the things you do in that hour. I did it, boom, done. And that is all I did. That's all we often teach our coaches to do, because those are the activities that matter. The fluffy stuff just takes up extra time. So that's kind of how I see it.
I'll add in too. So like everyone knows, I was a student, so mine was extremely sporadic. Like if I had an exam coming up, sometimes I would literally do nothing with coaching for like 3 days if I had to focus on an exam. But say I'm on Christmas break and I have 2 weeks off, then I would dive into coaching. So it really just depended what was going on with school, because that was my number one priority. And then I just made coaching fit and work into my schedule wherever I could. If I was on a lunch break and had an hour, I'd do it. If a class was canceled, I'd pull out my coaching stuff and really just do it whenever I could. So don't feel like you have to do it at a specific time or that you have to do a certain routine. I was super sporadic and just did it whenever, but that's what worked for me. So whatever your schedule or life is like, you'll find a way to fit it in somewhere.
Yeah, for me, I think I built my business from like our kitchen. I feel like when the twins were napping, when I started this business, they used to nap. It was amazing. Now I have less time. But when they were little and would nap, I would get a lot of stuff done. And I decided to consciously make the decision that I wasn't going to be a hobby coach. I was going to really try this. So for me, end of the day, often like Kyrstin involved watching TV. I love The Bachelor, all those kind of junky shows. And I decided, okay, if I'm really going to do this business, is my life going to be more valuable if I'm on top of what's happening on The Bachelor? Like, it doesn't matter. So I really did cut out TV for honestly the first like 1 year, maybe even longer than that. I didn't watch any shows. I just spent time learning about how to do my business and doing my best with it. And that is up to you how you get to prioritize. And for me, it's different during the week than on the weekends. I work a lot more on the weekends when my husband's around. I get up early still because I'm a morning person, and I catch up and I plan ahead, and that's how I've done mine.
So the next question is actually pretty similar to the first one we just did about how I'm too busy to be a coach, and how that, anybody can do this no matter what your schedule is. It's all a matter of just prioritizing your time and finding time and creating time. Because if you're searching for time in your day, it's really easy to say, I don't have time. But if you're like, I need to make time in my day, you'll find a place to put it. You'll find a way to do that. So a lot of people wear busy as a badge of honor and saying like, oh, I'm just so busy, so stressed out. How many times do you ask someone like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, busy. Like, oh, okay. But we're all busy. We all have things to do. We all have lives, careers, families. We all are busy. But I feel like when you are working towards a greater goal, a greater good, maybe your goal is to, free yourself of debt. Maybe your big goal is to, come home from work and be home with your kids. Whatever your big goal is, usually that trumps The Bachelor. Usually that trumps, mindless scrolling on Facebook. And that's what I always tell myself. If I'm ever, catching myself being lazy, I always go back to why I started in the first place. The reason why I started, at the time, I was working at a dental office that treated its employees so poorly. Like I would literally drive up and like have tears in my eyes and have to listen to personal development before I walked in because I hated my job so much. And then I thought, I am going to bust my ass to get to a point where I never have to go to a job like this again. So I can work when I want to, where I want to, if I want to. And so can busy people do this? Absolutely. It's just a matter of how bad you want it. All right, so the next one is, I only work out at the gym. How am I able to be a Beachbody coach if I don't really work out at home? You have a whole market of people waiting for your help. Let's just put it that way. Because did you see Morgan today? If you guys follow Morgan on Instagram, do you see the little thing she's wearing in her ears right now? She's crushing her gym workout at the hotel. And it's a Beachbody workout. Like it's 2018 now, guys. Like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, it's just amazing now. And even before, like when I would travel, I brought this laptop with me and I brought my workout DVDs and I made it work. Because Lord knows if I walk into a gym, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm not that person, but maybe you guys can speak to only working out at the gym because that is not me.
I was 100% gym rat, but Beachbody lover too. But as I got older and started the real world, I just found working out at home is the most convenient thing for me. And Steven works out at home with me every day now too. And like I said, I'm traveling. So I put BOD on my phone and I Bluetooth it to my headphones in the gym. But as you kind of get started as a coach, you're going to actually, because you get to know other coaches, you're going to come to find there's a large percentage of coaches that are also personal trainers and that also own gyms. It's kind of like the perfect combination because as a personal trainer, you can only help so many people. Coaching opens up your doors to so much more. There's multiple top coaches who are gym owners that have Beachbody live classes in their gym. They teach P90X, they teach PIO, Insanity, and Shakeology is a big component of how they help people. So I definitely don't think it's exclusive. And I would not agree with people ever if they say, I'm a gym person or I'm a personal trainer or anything, because it's been proven time and time again with other successful coaches that it's a great combination.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll add in too, I actually did a bikini competition, I guess that was like 2 years ago. So that was after my first year of coaching. And so I trained at the gym a lot and I was doing non-Beachbody workouts. For my cardio, for my extra cardio, I would do like T25 or Insanity because those are like HIIT workouts. But for about 6 months, I was in the gym actually doing other workouts, but I was still helping a ton of people because they saw me still committed to my journey. I was still drinking my Shakeology. I was still posting in my challenge groups, helping support people. So you can literally make this work however you want. And so I went through a lot of phases through coaching. I went to the gym. I worked out just at home. I lived in a tiny apartment on the second floor, and I was hopping around all the time doing my workouts there. I'm sure the people below were kind of like, what is she doing? But it was only like 30 minutes. So by the time they could complain, I probably stopped. So you can literally do this workout anywhere. You can make it work anyway. If you go to the gym and you think that you can't be a coach, you definitely can. And even now, I still sometimes go to the gym and I'll just go in the yoga room and pull up my laptop and do it there. Or like Morgan did today, I'll stream it on my phone and do Body Beast, because that's like a lifting program and I like going to the gym, so I have my heavier weights there. So it's awesome how much variety there is. So yeah.
And I always think of it as, like, I have a couple personal trainers on my team, and they say that they can only help a certain amount of people in a day. They're limited, right? They can only be at this side of the city, and then they're traveling to this side of the city. And I say Beachbody's nice because it expands their network, and they're not forced to run themselves ragged. They're able to, be on their computer. They're able to help the people that they love helping in their one-on-one setting, but they're also able to not only really market their brand, on social media and help a wider variety of people, but they can really grow their business and grow their income that way too. They're not as limited. So the next one on here was, what has been the most vital behavior that you do each day to grow your business? I think the most vital behavior, and I know this is like a technical vital behavior for all you Beachbody people out there, but I think it's consistency, and not like, I do the same core behavior all the time, and I'm really consistent. I'm a creature of habit. And I think that benefits me, because it's not like I don't consider, like, I don't need a month off or a week off. I don't just disappear. You'll always see me on social media to some degree. I'm always talking to people. I'm always growing. I'm always working on myself and sharing my journey. So that consistency is probably the greatest vital behavior to my business.
I would agree with that. I mean, if we're like talking technical Beachbody vital behaviors, I would obviously say personal development. Like I mentioned before, growing myself has been the biggest game changer for me and my relationship. But I'd agree with Kyrstin. If somebody was to ask me my secret weapon, how did I get to where I am today in the business? And I'm always brutally honest. And I say, I worked my Beachbody business for at least usually an hour. Some days it was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever I could, every single day for that whole entire first year. I did not miss a day. I did not miss a single national wake-up call or team call. And I worked my power hour, that list I was talking about that we teach new coaches, every single day. I see my business exactly the same way as I see my fitness journey. If you're going to work out, if you're going to do half-ass your program, half the workout, half the nutrition plan, you're going to get half the results. And that's exactly how I see my business. If I'm going to work it half the time, I'm going to get half the results. And I can't be frustrated at anybody or put excuses out there for that, because I'm the one who chose that, right? So if I want full results, I do my program and my meal plan fully. I'm starting 80-day obsession on Monday. So are a lot of people. If I want the full results that other people have got, I'm doing the nutrition plan to a T, and I'm doing the workouts to a T. Obviously stuff happens, but I'm going to do the best I can. Same with my business. If I want the results other people have had in this coaching business, I need to put in 100% of the effort and do my very best every day too.
I think for me, one of the best things I've done is just to keep an open mind to learn. I wasn't big on social media when I started, and I have a little sister who's 12 years younger than me. She's actually Morgan's age. And so, I'm a bit out of the loop when it comes to things like Instagram. And she told me the day I signed up, okay, if you're going to be a coach, you need to start using Instagram. And so I kept an open mind. I I was open to the idea of learning how to do these things, how to use Instagram, how to hop on a Zoom call. These kind of things intimidated me before. And so just comes with practice and keeping an open mind and learning one thing at a time. Like, you know, some new coaches get really overwhelmed because they try to do everything at once, and you don't have to do that. You just kind of grow, and as you're ready for more, you can add more.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with everything that you guys said, and also being a product of the product. So committing to the workouts and committing to using Shakeology and trying out the different supplements and different things that Beachbody has to offer. It's been really cool to see over the 4 years. People will literally ask you, you know, what workouts are you doing, or what do you drink, or what do you drink after a workout? What do you drink before a workout? So it's really cool to be able to tell them, oh, this is exactly what I use, and this is how it's helped me. This is how it makes me feel. Like, all of those things are super important to being an awesome coach and being able to speak from experience from using the programs and using all the products.
All right. So the next one is, what are some examples of financial freedom Beachbody has created for you and your family? Now, I know probably as soon as I said this, all of us kind of get like a little like, oh, I hate talking about money. It's just like a weird thing. And I think it's just like this thing we've had implanted in our brain that it's like not polite to talk about money. But I feel like we're talking about a business. We're talking about changing your life and growing it. Now, in no way are we guaranteeing anything. But what we're going to tell you is that we've achieved these goals and these milestones and these accolades via our hard work and determination. And by you doing the same, you will reap the benefits. Absolutely. That part is guaranteed. If you put your whole heart and your effort into it, absolutely. And like Morgan said, half-ass, half results. So you get to decide, truly. Okay. So I guess, like I kind of said, one of the biggest like moments of like really ugly crying, oh my gosh, I've made it type moments for me was when we paid for this basement in cash. We bought this house. It was our first home. A few years ago, we bought it 4 or 5 years ago. And we were, we just graduated college. Like we had been, saving up for this. And then our town flooded and our complete basement was wiped out. And actually there was a clause in our insurance. So we had no insurance money to fix it. So we knew that we'd have to pay out of pocket to get that all done. And we just had a new mortgage. We had everything else. We had a new car. We had everything. So we're like, this is going to have to wait. So the basement sat just cement, clean, blank cement for a couple of years. And then last year, we were able to, within the first half of the year, save up enough to completely redo it. And not ourselves. We got to pay a professional to do it. Thank goodness. And that was a huge moment for us. And I think just knowing that we could do that without having to go to a bank or have to borrow money, and just do that with cash really, really solidified it for both Alex and I that holy smokes, like this is not just healthy nail manicures anymore. This is getting really lucrative. And we both are like, we can't stop. Like there's no stopping now because we know that there's so much more. We don't have kids yet. Right. So we keep thinking about the future and, contributing to our children's education funds and being able to go on vacations with them and do things that, growing up when we were younger that weren't really possible, and being able to provide opportunities for our children like that would be really incredible. So that was a big, big one for me.
I can hop on next with this one. So for me, again, it's different. We're a family of 5. And so that gets expensive to do really anything. And my goals were to pay for the once a month cleaning lady and my hair appointments. And so as my business grew, I was getting really excited. Lots of little things were happening that were great, like paying for the mortgage payment, or, I just got some new winter tires on a bonus, which was awesome. But some of the big things that I strive for every year in Canada, for each child you have, if you can put down $2,500 in RESPs, you get a match from the government. You get 20% from the government. And so with 3 kids, that's a lot of money every year. And so it was really hard for Martin and I to get like $7,500 every year on top of everything else in our life to contribute to their RESPs. And so, this year it's January 9th, and we already have the money for January for their RESPs for this year. And so another big thing, which was on my dream goal list, is to take my family to Cyprus overseas. That's where my dad is from. It's a Greek island in the Mediterranean. And we just booked this week a 3-week vacation there for all 5 of us. So like huge things are happening for our family that we would never have been able to do before. And I get goosebumps thinking about it. I don't need a new minivan or a new whatever. I mean, I'd love a bathroom reno, but I'd rather spend my money on experiences and vacations and investing in my children's future. So that's been huge for us. And it's been well worth my working hard, which I do, but it's been well worth trying this job out.
So cool. Okay, I'll go next here. So one of the really cool things that happened for us, I got married like a year and a half ago here, and I moved out to Arizona. My husband worked full-time for the military, and at one point he was just randomly like, I want to play basketball professionally. And he used to play in college, which was awesome. And he really wanted to do it. And I said, you know what, babe, go do it. And to be able to do that, you need to obviously train. So he stepped away from his full-time job, which we were able to do because of Beachbody. And he was able to step back and train for like 3 or 4 months and go to tryouts and try and make teams. And so that was pretty cool to allow him to go after his dreams. And he actually got to go play in India last year. And then this year when he goes, I'm going to be able to go with him for a bit. So that's pretty cool too, because if I was working full-time as a pharmacist, I wouldn't be able to, take off all this time and go and travel and have my own schedule. It just wouldn't happen. So that was one thing that was super, super cool. And then also we are building a house right now, and all of that income, you guys, to be able to build a house has pretty much came from Beachbody. Playing overseas obviously makes some money, but the majority has came from our Beachbody income. So even saying that is like, what? That's insane. And also this year I was able to get like my dream car, which I drove like 2017 Hyundai Elantra since I was like 16 until last year. And I was finally like, okay, this is silly. Like, we make great money with Beachbody. I'm going to go get this car and I'm going to love it. And literally every time I get in it, like I get this feeling, I get overwhelmed, and I'm like, this is literally all from Beachbody and all this hard work. So obviously I had no idea that it was going to go and become this by any means. I was freaking pumped to pay $30 in gas my first month as a coach. So just know that the possibilities with this business are literally endless, and there's so much potential. So if you sign up after this, or if you're currently a new coach, just remember to dream big and know that it is possible.
Oh, this is actually my favorite part out of all these questions, because like Kyrstin said, I think we shared this in one of our coaching pages actually this past week, that the different views on money. And to me, my view on money is just, it's so positive. The first time I got a Beachbody check in the mail, when I signed up, we still were mailed checks. Beachbody's in the US, yeah, a US check. So it took like a month to come. US funds, yeah. I was living with my parents, so they thought I was like, they didn't know what I was doing. They're like, Morgan, you've got this check for money coming from the US. But when that first check came, I think it was for like $80. I helped a couple people get started. I was like, whoa, okay, this is actually legit. So that first check was the biggest for me. Now you obviously get paid in direct deposit, so it's much more convenient. That was the first big thing. And then the second biggest thing was the day I actually, again, I'm like Virginia, I didn't really know the potential of this. I knew from the training that everybody said your income is going to be a direct reflection of the number of people you help. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to help a lot of people. So the day I matched my teaching income in a week, which was about $1,000 a week, that week, I couldn't believe it. Teachers around here, when they first start, is about $1,000 a week or $40,000 a year. So at that time, a full-time teaching, franchise coaching, all that stuff, I saw Steven probably like an hour in the evening every day. That was it, for about an hour. And it was just like, it was eating at both of us. Our relationship wasn't great. And I thought, you know what? My worst fear is when it's my time to leave this earth, that I will have realized I spent most of my life away from the people I love, doing things I didn't want to do with people I didn't care to be with. Most of my time would be spent away from them, like it was right now. And I just, when I matched that week, I thought, you know, I wasn't ready to step away from teaching. I don't want you to do that at all. I wanted to be very stable before I did that. And eventually the time came, but I thought, wow, if I could spend all day with Steven, which is what we do now, that would be something pretty special. And, after so long, I was able to do that. And I actually track my income on a spreadsheet, and I keep highlighted in yellow right under my total that I've earned from Beachbody. I keep it in yellow. It says yearly income as a teacher, and it says 40 grand a year. And that just, I think, keeps me humble and reminds me like where I started and how hard I worked to get to where I am. So that was huge for me and for us.
Okay, I get a little misty-eyed every time that topic comes up. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so next one. It says here, I'm not super fit. Will I still succeed? Yeah. Just if I can make a blanket statement, you got a body. We all have bodies. We all have, you know, habits and bad habits, good habits. There's a million people out there exactly like you, waiting for someone like you to tell them that they can do it. That it don't matter what size your booty is. It don't matter if you have abs or not. What matters is that you believe in the power of movement, that you believe in good nutrition, and that you believe in support and sisterhood. That's what matters. So that's my spiel on that one. Okay, great. We'll move along because I know we're eating up a lot of time here, guys. Number 9, your favorite memory so far as a coach. Favorite memory, I don't know. Maybe Steven at the pool in the Punta Cana last year. I think honestly, like the job itself is really fun. It's really rewarding, but we get to travel quite a bit as coaches, and we're either rewarded with a free vacation for helping people, or we're going to a big seminar every year. So for me, it's like actually getting to hug and squeeze these humans that I get to share so much time with. That's my favorite. I couldn't even like begin.
I am going to just second that. It's hands down the trips. I don't think you really know Beachbody Coaching until you start to go to the trips. You earn them for free, except airfare, obviously, because we're all flying from different places. I'd probably say Virginia, when we were in Vegas at Leadership, doing the team building activity in November. It was probably the hardest. I think I actually peed my pants a little bit during that event. You'd laugh so hard. You probably have never even seen an event done until you see a Beachbody event done. They treat you like royalty.
Or when we got lost on the subway and then it shut down and we're in downtown LA. These country bumpkins are stuck at 3 a.m. on a train in LA. That was fun.
I would have to agree with all the trips, and also an amazing moment happened the other week. One of my coaches texted me and she was like, "Jen, guess what? I was like, what? Tell me. I'm always excited to celebrate with them. She's like, this week I made the same amount that I would have made in a month as a teacher. And we get paid weekly, so that's like huge. And literally I was tearing up too because I was so happy for her. And I remember when she started coaching, she literally had 4 jobs, you guys. She was teaching, she was doing an instructor class, she was coaching volleyball after school, and I think she was still waitressing. So literally she was grinding so hard, and she was having anxiety and like just not enjoying life at that point. And to see her now, and she's a full-time coach now, and this has been like 3.5, almost 4 years, but to be able to celebrate that with her and know that she saw my flexing selfie on Facebook one day and I said, Merry Fitness, and she messaged me like, hey Jen, you look really happy. I kind of just want to do whatever you're doing. And that's literally where it started. And to see her be successful and to be so much happier and healthier, like, makes me so freaking happy. So that was a huge moment for me.
For me, it's a really personal one. It's I got a message one day from Martin's cousins, my husband's cousin. She joined one of my challenge groups, and she'd asked me if her daughter could join. And her daughter at the time was 16. And I said, well, sure. You know, she's not like old enough to have a Beachbody account, but let her in the group. And she's drinking the Shakeology with her mom and meal prepping. And so she was kind of quiet in the groups. Obviously, most of the people in my groups are moms. She kind of kept to herself, but, you know, was checking in with her mom and with me. And so I got this message like maybe 6 months later that at age 16, she had lost 45 pounds. And she basically went from overweight, obese, to like looking amazing. Okay. And so it really chokes me up hearing from her, because I mean, I see her on a regular basis, and she's somebody who this is going to change her whole outlook on life and her confidence as a young female. And I think back to when I was in like grade 10, and gosh, if someone could have done that for me, I would be forever grateful. And so that's a really touching moment in my Beachbody coaching career that I'll never forget. And if that's the only person I helped, it would have been worth it.
Okay, I need to add one more, sorry. But also, Nicole sharing that reminded me, how did I forget? But one of the coaches on our team won $1,000 the other week because she lost 145 pounds, you guys, all with Beachbody. Like, how freaking cool is that? And now she works like crazy. She works like 70 hours a week, but her story and her sharing her journey has inspired so many people. And it's just so cool to see that ripple effect, because she did it and showed people that anyone can do this. She's inspired so many other people to do it as well. And with Beachbody, they have the Beachbody Challenge winner every year, which they're in a running to win $100,000. And Tracy will be able to submit her before and after results and have a chance at winning $100,000 for her transformation with Beachbody. So that's pretty freaking cool too.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to skip right to that last question because it kind of ties in the last couple. It's any advice for those of you on this call who are wanting to dive in. What would our advice be? Mine would be to listen to your heart and to do something for you, and to believe that you're capable of incredible things, and that anybody can do this. Absolutely anybody can do this. I don't care what color your hair is. I don't care where you live. I don't care how you were raised. It doesn't matter. Everybody has a story. Everybody has someone that is waiting out there for you to help them. And I always think to myself, and I'm sure these girls do too, if I hadn't have taken that chance with Morgan, if I would have stopped being so cynical, if I would have stayed that way, I wouldn't have helped this person and this person. I wouldn't have helped these people change their lives. And I'm not for 1 minute going to say that, oh, that's just, by chance. This is all so incredibly intertwined, and you get to make that decision. So if you get to make one decision this year that's for you, to really follow your heart and take control and to just find out how capable you really are, it would be to just absolutely jump on that.
Okay, mine is expect this to take time and get out of your comfort zone. Because I have signed up a lot of new coaches in 2017 who, after a month or two, this is too hard. Well, everything is work. This is a job. This is a business. People aren't going to just flock to you because you posted your before and after. I mean, you might get somebody, which is great, but you need to treat this like a business. And so if you are going into this thinking, wow, I want a dream vacation for my family of 5 overseas, and you're not willing to work hard or get out of your comfort zone, it's not going to happen. So my advice is to be patient and consistent and get out of your comfort zone.
Love that, Nicole. Mine would be do your best and forget the rest. I know when I first started, I was kind of nervous, like, oh my gosh, looking at everyone else's posts and everything looks perfect and they have a blog and they have a like page and they have all these followers. Get in your own lane and just do your best and just get started. So many people get frozen in the mode where they're learning all this stuff and then they just don't start because they get either overwhelmed or too scared. Just start. If you scroll back to my first couple months of coaching, you'd be like, what is this girl doing? Like, I was posting pictures of my food and it looked disgusting. I don't even know why I was putting that on social media, but whatever. I started, right? I started posting at least once a day on social media. That was my goal. And I got better as I went. I got so much better, you guys. I had terrible lighting in my 1-bedroom apartment that was super sketchy, and my pictures weren't the best, but I got better as I went. And I promise you guys, if you continue to learn and continue to do this, you're just going to get better and better as you go. But yes, it definitely takes time, and it takes that dedication to learning and getting better and growing.
So mine would kind of encompass everybody's too. Right when I signed up, I would say, have a long-term mindset. If you come into this and say, I'm going to try it for a month, you probably just shouldn't even sign up, to be honest, because how are you going to get good at anything in a month or a year? Or I've been doing this for 4.5 years and I feel like I'm just getting started. So when I signed up, like I said, I had just finished university. So I went to school and paid 100 or probably over 100. Well, thank gosh for the help of my parents, but a lot of money to go to university for 5 years to learn and perfect my craft in biology, chemistry, and education. I paid to learn for 5 entire years before I actually got a job and started making an income. So when I signed up to be a Beachbody coach, one of the very first trainings I did kind of talked about this mentality. Like, you don't get to go to university for Beachbody coaching. So you don't sign up and know everything. You sign up and you're kind of like working the business plus learning everything at the same time. So for me, I'm like, okay, Morgs, you cannot expect really anything of yourself until 5 years. It took you 5 years to learn your craft of biology, chemistry, and education. So to be honest, I didn't put a lot of, I'm like, you got 5 years to learn this. You got 5 years to fail and try things and just wing it and give it a shot. So I had that like 5-year long mindset right from the start. And I think when you have that mindset, things start to fall into place, because you're not like, if I'm not this successful by this date, it's not working for me. And I think that is a terrible mindset in business, because everybody's business looks so different, so entirely different. Just because so-and-so earns this much income by this date doesn't mean you're going to earn that income by this date. You might earn more, you might earn less. Just like our franchise business, we can't compare that to Steven's parents' franchise business. It's totally different. So for me, it's have that long-term mindset.
Okay, we have been on this call for over an hour, you guys. Thank you so much for diving in. I'm going to look in the chat here and see if there's any other questions here before we hop off.
Oh, hey, Kyrstin, while you quickly read those, do you just want me to cover like what next steps would be?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll go through and see if I miss anything. You go ahead.
Okay. So real quick, obviously, we don't want to keep you on here much longer. It's late tonight, so you might want to be like, hey, I'm going to bed. But if you are like, no, I don't think coaching's for me, that's totally cool. Thank you so much for spending this time with us anyways. If you are like, okay, what happened to a lot of us, I want to do what you're doing. It's super simple. All you got to do is message your coach. Your coach is the person that has already been helping you. Or if you're really, really new, it's just the person that invited you to this event. Who did you hear about this event from or this call from? Reach out to that person and basically do what Virginia said. Hey, I want to become a coach. How do I do it? They probably won't get back to you tonight unless they're staying up late tonight. But it could be, we've got tons of coaches on this call from our team. So it could be anybody on here that's your coach. Reach out to them, just send them a quick Facebook message or Instagram DM or email, however you guys chat, and just say, yeah, I want to become a coach. How do I do it? They're going to walk you through exactly how to do it, step by step. It's super easy. It's online. Some of you won't need a fitness package, so you can just sign up super quick. It's like, I think if you just sign up, I think it's like $50-ish, something like that. If you do need a fitness program and Shakeology, that coaching fee is actually waived. It gets tossed out. So it's free to sign up. And I'm going to be brutally honest, and I think Nicole, Virginia, and Kyrstin would agree. If I was to pick a time of year that's the best time to become a coach, I would pick right now. It's January. There's so many people that are wanting help. I know me, Nicole, Virginia, Kyrstin are in a group chat, and we all had our biggest income weeks the other week. I think a week or two. Was it last week? Yeah, last week, because it's just January. And number two is because the brand new program I mentioned, 80-Day Obsession, is coming out. And as a coach, you get to join the trainer, whose name is Autumn Calabrese. She's hosting a test group just for coaches. And that material, so if you share workout videos in there, if you share your transformation in there, they're using the material from that group in all their promotional material for the program. So literally you could end up on the commercial on TV for 80-Day Obsession. And she's going to be going live in there, walking you through all 80 days. She's literally coaching the coaches through the entire program. So honestly, if I was to pick a time, I wish I signed up in January when I signed up, not the middle of the summer, to be honest. So this is for you. Definitely just send your coach a quick message ASAP. You'd probably want to get signed up tomorrow. Would be a great time.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to just zip through these questions. The one thing said in the very beginning when you first started, what did you post to make yourself interesting to attract others? Honestly, just share your journey. Share what you're doing. Share what's going wrong. Share what's going right. Share your failures. Share your successes and everything in between. You're basically like a reality show and people are tuning in. That's all I do every single day. I am not super interesting. I lead a very straightforward creature of habit life. And I just share my personality and let yourself shine through. Be who you are, because that's your biggest asset. There's only one you, and take it to your advantage for sure. And you guys cut me off. I'm just going to rip through these. So cut me off if you have anything to add. Okay.
Oh, I'll just add real quick, because you just mentioned kind of posting on social media. Once you do sign up to be a new coach, our entire team of coaches, we all have new coach training. So if you're like, whoa, what do I do after I sign up? Don't worry. We walk you through step by step. We've got a new coach training that teaches you everything. Okay.
And then, adding your spouse, that's something down the road, honestly, adding your spouse to the business. If you have one and they want to help you out and support you, then they join. If you don't, it's honestly not the end of the world. It's not a huge deal. Some people have their coach, their husbands or their boyfriends or partners support them, but that's not mandatory. That's not something you have to do. And that's something you can do later down the road for sure. What do you eat on a daily basis? Oh gosh. It basically, I follow the portion fix, and you get an amazing grocery list and food list per container with the portion fix. That's what I take grocery shopping. It's like what fits into these containers and what's freshest in my local grocery store. I'm buying that. I buy a little bit from each container. They make it super simple. So I just follow the grocery list that they provide within the workout program. I certainly am not cutting out any food groups. That's for sure. I'm eating all of them, all different kinds of food groups. And do you have to purchase an 80-day obsession challenge pack to be a part of the test group with Autumn? Any coach, you have to have the 80-day obsession pack. You need to have the equipment to do the program, obviously. You need to have access to Beachbody on demand. And then you need to have your nutritional portion of the program as well. Does that answer all the questions? Did we cover everything? I think there's a hand that's up. I'm new to this feature. You can ask your question if you'd like. I think you just have to unmute yourself. I'll unmute you for you. Okay, go ahead.
Just quickly, I am fairly new. I'm about 6 months into this coaching, and I really don't have a team yet under me. Like, I have discount coaches under me, but no actual people coaching. Can I share this video with people who I think might like to watch it?
100%. Yeah, it's going to be a long video, so it's going to be uploading to my computer all night, but I'm hoping tomorrow morning I'll have it posted for everyone, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, I think that is it. I think we have finally wrapped up. My eyes are like getting heavy. It's like way past my bedtime. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to Nicole, Morgan, and Jen for logging on. These women keep me so grounded and so inspired and humbled every single day. And to get to do calls like this really fills my heart. So thank you so much. And I look forward to working with all of you. The fact that you guys were on a call for an hour means you're probably really good coach material. Our team calls are not this long. So you guys rock. And I love seeing all the smiling faces. You guys were amazing. And I can't wait to see you guys on our next team call. Awesome.
See you later, guys.
Good night.